Yeah, if I could talk to my 15-year-old self again, I'd tell her that a lot of the things that she was doing and that she thought was cool would cost her way more than just a little bit of bread. Feel me? Cost her things like a reputation, things like opportunities, like time. Yeah, like a little bit of money. Um, Lost relationships, broken ties, um, with really important people, because of decisions that she made when she was younger. Things that I thought was cool, things that I thought was harmless. You know, things. 'Cause when you're young, you know how it is. You feeling like I'm doing me. I'm not hurting nobody. But in the end, not only do you be hurting people, your parents, maybe your siblings, your family, your friends, but in the end, you be hurting yourself. And that's what I learned. So I made to break it down to you. Just simply, I ain't here to preach it. And I'm here to give y'all, use me as an example, as living proof of how, the things that you do as a child can really impact you in a positive or a negative way. So in life, I'm going to break it down to three categories. You know what I'm saying? I want to say relationships. Those are the connections that you build with people. It could be a family. Like I said, it could be your friends. And it could be a community. Your community, the people that you live around. Your neighborhood, your hood, however you want to call it. You know, and relationships are really important because, contrary or um, despite what people say, we need each other. We all need each other, and it's actually a fact that um, the bigger your social your social circle is, you got to be careful though. But the bigger it is, the more people that you can trust, um, and who treat you with mutual respect, and they honor your boundaries and stuff that you have in your life. Um, that can impact how long you live. You can live longer if you have the more people you have around you. You know what I'm saying? That respect you, you're respecting them and stuff like that. Okay. So the second very important um, part of life is growth, motion. And, in that category, that's basically mentally, yeah, what you're doing, you know, to educate yourself, to awaken yourself, to, you know, put some knowledge in that bag. You know what I'm saying? Because knowledge is power. And you do that by reading, you do that by researching, always asking questions. I know some people, they get annoyed with you might be in school or you might be somewhere handling business and somebody's asking 1,000 questions. And I'm very impatient too, so trust me, I get it. Um, but trust that person is not a dummy. That person is actually very intelligent because if you don't know something, that's the way that you gain knowledge by asking questions. That's the way that you seek it. You seek the knowledge. You seek the knowledge. You have to seek out. And if it's somebody that you think knows something that you want to know, don't be afraid to ask questions. It's not what you do; it's how you do it. Excuse me. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be in your business. You give them a little background story. I'm interested in this or whatever, and I see that probably give them a compliment on the way in. Like, I see you very smart, you very, you're an expert in this field, and I was just wondering if you could help me out with a little bit of advice, a little bit of information, and more than likely, the person to help you out. but it's definitely a lot of sources. You ain't always gotta pay for books. You can get books from the library, stuff like that. This is the era of information. Google is out of control. We got ChatGPT. We got all the different AI models, which I would suggest you to be very careful. Don't give them too much of your information, and just know that they be bugging. So you got to fact check. Always fact check. Check your sources. Um, and it's also about progress in life when it comes to your professional life. It's not always about a job, but it's about a job or whatever type of business. Things how it is, how you making your money, how you earning your money. And it starts from when you're young. You got to think about um, what you want to do in life and make sure that what you want to do really fits you, so you don't get stuck in a job or in a situation that you hate. Think of what you really like, um, and how it can make you the most money it can. And also, I want to talk about when it comes to like professional life. You know, it's really important to build your reputation now. It's not always about your reputation, just about what I say, paperwork. I mean, like a paper trail, and I'm gonna get into a little bit of that later. All right. So the third, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna check my notes. I don't know why I forgot that, but yeah, that's because I be slipping on it. And a lot of us do. Your health is very important. Your physical health, your body, ailments. You know what I'm talking about, asthma, how your bones doing, your muscles doing, how your gut feeling, how your feet, how everything. You got to exercise is important. Walking, you know, about 30 to 45 minutes a day is very important. And if it could be in the park, that's amazing, because the trees, they give off a natural toxins that kind of lightens up our mood. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to exercise, treat your body right. Your body health is wealth. You can get as much money as you want, but if you're not around to spend it, what was the use? So please take care of yourself. Get your yearly checkups, your physical checkups. Um, you know, Gynecologists, for men, go see, check out your health, check out for STDs, check out for cancer, check out for everything. You know what I'm saying? Make sure your health, like I said, health as well, and also your mental health is very important. Um, if you're feeling sad, you're feeling down, don't feel ashamed about it. If you feeling like you don't want to get out of bed, don't no. Now all of us on the daily, we hear the alarm clock. We pissed off. We want to turn that shit. But I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about like if it's really a struggle for you to get out of bed. If it's really a struggle for you to um, talk to other people. If you just want to be by yourself, or if you are disinterested in the shit that you used to be. Now I'm not talking about negative shit. I'm talking about fun shit, going out with your peoples, um, you know, even going out with by yourself, traveling, any fun hobbies that you see yourself like straying away from. You just want to be by yourself. You just want to, indulge in negative things. Um, it's okay. Um, everybody, that's normal. I don't say everybody, but I believe that everybody has gone through this. At a period in your life. So there's nothing wrong with you. You're not a freak. You're not weak. You're not nothing. You're human. And I advise you to go and seek counseling, seek therapy, talk to somebody, a professional, or talk to your friends. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those are very important. But going back to how all these things um, affect you, and how you go about this in your youth, how it affects you um, as a grown adult. And I'm gonna use myself in this example. So, um, once again, I'm 37 years old. I'm from Newark, New Jersey. I have a very big family. My mom is from Elizabeth, but she used to hang in Newark and like out in the city, New York City or whatever. My father's he's from California, but he moved to East Orange, the projects, when he was like 16. They had me young. My father probably was 18. My mother was like 20. You know what I'm saying? But it was always installed in me, drilled in me to go to school, finish school, you know, just try to get a good job or whatever. Um, but I had my own, I had my own way of thinking. I had my own plans. When I was like 10, my mom had got arrested. The feds kicked in our door. Um, my mom and her boyfriend, they got arrested. You know, this was a pivotal moment in my life. All right. My mom was like kind of like my sole caregiver. You know what I'm saying? So she took care of me mostly. I would go spend time with my dad on the weekends or whatever. But my mom was mostly my sole caregiver. So when she left, kind of rocked my world. So when she left, I was given to the care of my aunt on my father's side. My aunt on my father's side is a very beautiful woman, very smart woman, um, very caring woman. Ever since I was a child, she always, took care of me. Made sure I was all right. Got me clothes, got me gifts, things like that. Honestly, when I went with my aunt, as a child, I was young. I was like 11, 12, um, and I was from the projects. And my mom was kind of rough. We lived in the project, so I wanted to be outside, honestly. And my aunt wasn't trying to have that. My aunt was, in my opinion, back then she was too strict. She wanted some discipline. She didn't want me to be running in the projects with with kids with the kids that on late night, just out and about anywhere. She understood the streets, so she understood the dangers. But like I said, I wanted to be outside, so I kind of used to act out, not really with her because she was strict and I know she ain't play that, but I requested to be placed with another aunt. This is really not even my aunt. This is my godmother. This is on my mother's side. I want to be placed with her because I knew that I could kind of get away. I had a little bit more leeway with her. And in that time period, I wound up getting kicked out of school. I was already a little kind of dabbling in gang banging, but I definitely started selling drugs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, and so, you know what I mean? It wasn't really a good decision for me. I should have stayed um, in a household where it was structured and where it was disciplined. Um, Sometimes when we have people telling us to do things that we don't want to do, we think that they're trying to control us. We think that they're trying to actually like harm us, like mentally. They trying to hurt our feelings. They trying to, you know, disrespect us as people. And sometimes they are, but most times they're not. Most times they just want the best for you. They're older. Um, they've been there. They've done that, and they're just trying to guide you in the right direction. My advice to you is please listen, hear everybody out. But if you do see that somebody is trying to guide you in a direction that you just like truly like, you know, you want to be a doctor, but they want you to be a lawyer. Sit down with them. It's not what you say, it's not what you do, it's how you do it. Sit down with them respectfully and try to let them hear you out. Give them some points, um, explaining why being a doctor fits you better than being a lawyer. You know, but So, so at my godmom's house, I'm still in the hood or whatever. And like I said, it's a little lax. My godmom got like 3 kids, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, even though it's lax, it's still rules. But me, I'm a rebel. I like to break the rules. You know what I'm saying? So it was a Christmas. I was there. Only got a sweater. You know what I'm saying? And I say this to say that you know people, adults, they have feelings too. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I only got that sweater because of the way I was acting all year. Was I naughty or was I nice? You know what I'm saying? I was definitely being naughty. Um, so I was being so naughty that I wound up getting kicked out of the house. She told me, I had to go somewhere else. So I wound up going to my great aunt's house, which is my father's aunt, you know, in the projects where he's from, you know. And I'm gang banging. I'm out the closet. I done came out the closet. Um, pardon. I'm out the closet. I'm selling a little dope here and there. Um, I'm wild. Cutting school. I'm wild. I'm wild. I think I said I had got kicked out of school. I wasn't kicked out of school yet. I was still going. I was still going hard middle. Even when I was living with I was living in kind of like in Irvington. I was going to school in East Orange. I used to catch the bus and shit. I don't know where the hell was I going to school at. I don't even remember y'all, but I know when I was living in the projects with that was my godmother. I apologize. With my great aunt though, I was going to hard middle, and I got kicked out of hard middle, and I started going to alternative. Yes, that's when I started going to alternative when I was living with her. So I was wild, out of control. Get what I'm saying? And this is all what I'm talking about. Um, your growth, your motion. So, this is your education. You know what I'm saying? It starts when you're young. You got to build a foundation. So, and I was messing my foundation up. You know, and it's talking about relationships. I was messing relationships up with family members. With you know what I'm saying? Now I already messed up the relationship with my godmother. Now I'm over at my great aunt's house. Well, you feel me? So I'm wilding so much. She tells me I got to go. You feel me? Boom. Next after her, I think I stay with my father, actual father. My father lives um, up in Velsburg. That's in North. He lives like a Velsburg, Hooterville type. Feel me? Section, like you know what I'm saying. So I goes up there. Um, and I'm wilding. Not listening to him. Me and my father, we never really had a good relationship. Rest in peace to my father. He passed away last year. And but goes up there, I'm wilding. Um, my mom, I'm gonna tell you a bit of my struggle. My mom had me laced, had me fly. I'm gonna get my mom name away. I'm gonna be trying to get people names away. My bad, mom. Be telling you a little bit of your business, but it's already known. My mom's the boost. Mom, was into the game a little bit. I was fly, even probably without the boosting, but the boosting, I was fly, big fly. You feel me? So, my father, his first time he actually had to take me, um, school shopping. My mom used to handle all that when I was young. My father never had to really do anything, but probably give me a little bit of pocket money um, if I ran out of pocket money. The pocket money that my mother gave me when she sent me over there. So, you understand me? But anyway, so yeah, his first time having to, take me shopping. If y'all hear some scratching in the background, and my bad for all this stuttering. If y'all hear some scratching in the background, that's my dog Boo. Boo, come here. Oh, that's just come here, Boo. That's Boop. I think I done showed y'all her. She getting bigger. I gave her yeah, that's Boop, y'all. But anyway, I ain't gonna let her distract me. But anyway, his first time having to take me shopping, he took me to Fab Coast shoes. I don't even remember the spot that he took me. Probably Fab Coast shoes. Probably where we went shopping for my clothes too. I had like 12 outfits. Them just came up to like $50. I'm not lying. Like, ain't no way. That shit was crazy. I was trying shit on. The first day I put it on, shit, zip was falling off and shit. Shit was crazy. Like, I wasn't into all that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. Was, streets heavier, you know. And, man, him, like, we never really got around. I used to be doing what I wanted to do. You know what I mean? And, so, shit. I got diapers called on me. We had a whole little case, you know what I'm saying? But, I had a little casework. I think I met with her a few times. She took me to Burger King, but um, it was a wrap. My mom's came home. So when my mom came home, you know, I was already so used to doing what I wanted to do. You know, I was just doing what I wanted to do. She done moved me to Elizabeth. I really hated Elizabeth. I'm not gonna lie. I had a book bag that said "fuck Elizabeth." No, I swear to God, yo, if anybody remember, please, if anybody listen, and I know ain't nobody really subscribed up here, get my subscribers up. You feel me? But if anybody looking at this, and anybody know me, drop in the comments about me and my blue book bag that had fuck Elizabeth and all that other shit. I used to be wild. But anyway, was mad as hell was over there, but I ain't really used to be listening. I used to be going, always used to be going back to North. You know what I'm saying? Always just not going to class and shit. Like I'm very intelligent, highly intelligent. So like that was, I'm like they used to be thinking it was an excuse. My mom's really understand, but they used to be boring me, yo. Like it used to be slow. Like they really, I don't know why they ain't really never put me in advanced class, but that's because I used to be acting up. Like I was in, I think it was called the class. I don't some shit. It was a classroom. You had to be in class all day. This is all day, all day. You in that one class. You go out for lunch like a couple of hours, but all day you gotta be in the classroom programs and shit. That's when I was in Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? So they probably was like, damn, she's so bad, she getting all these disciplinary. We can't put her in honor class. But that shit used to be crazy. And I never used to be showing up. My mom's, she used to be doing progress reports every week. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. And she used to be like, Tay, every Friday she used to get the progress reports. And she's like, Tay, did you go to class or whatever? I'm like, yeah, mom, with the class. Yeah, mom, with the class. Girl should get the or y'all should get the progress report. I probably went to 4 classes all the week from Monday to Friday. Y'all know that school is probably like 7 classes. You know what I'm saying? 7 subjects, different classes. So what? Times 5. That's 35 classes, y'all. Out of 35 classes, y'all, I used to go to 4 or 5 classes a week throughout the week. So my mom used to be 50 hot at me. You feel me? And like I was saying, not only was I messing up my motion, you know, um, I was messing up relationships. Now I'm messing up relationships with my mother. My relationship with my great aunt was messed up. My relationship with my father, my my godmother. Oh, I stayed with my other aunt too. I forgot about that, but she was like, "This is my aunt on my father's side. This is actually like y'all know how black people is. This is actually my father's sister. It's my aunt. This is her like best friend. And so I had stayed with them for a little while. And that was a crazy situation too. You know what I'm saying? I kind of messed up situations over there. But it was a lot of it was a lot of trauma on their side over there. They was not taking accountability of things they was doing to me, things being done to me. They was blaming things on me. That was crazy. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like I said, relationships. I was messing up relationships. I was messing up my future, my motion. You know what I'm saying? School is very important. You gotta. That's the basics. The first thing they asking now is, do you have a high school diploma or a GED? You know what I'm saying? So I gotta get that in motion and keep that in mind. You know what I'm saying? At that time, I wasn't really thinking about all that. That's the reason I was cutting school and stuff. 'Cause I was selling drugs. I was going to North or to my old hood selling crack and shit, selling dope. And that money, I said at such a young age, 14, 13, 14, 15, you know, I wasn't thinking about no damn school. Who needs school? You know what I'm saying? But I did need school. So I wound up getting expelled from school at the age of 15, um, thinking I'm cool. This is what this is about. Doing things when you was younger that you thought was cool, that you wasn't harming nobody. I was. I actually had an interaction with a security guard. It was minor. It had nothing to do with me. My friend, me and first of all, if I was in class, me and my friends, we outside doing things we ain't supposed to be doing. We about to go back into class, sneak back in class or whatever. But we see our boy come out. He all mad or whatever. Um, and he pop off, hits somebody walking past or whatever, security break it up or whatever, they start fighting though. Why did my little ass go over there and jump into it? You know what I mean? Boom, gets expelled from school. Boom. A little later I winds up running away from home, breaking trust with my moms and shit, breaking trust with the school people, relationships with people. I'm looking like a menace. Winds up running away. Um, Going to like Linden, New Jersey, out there, um, selling drugs out there, gang banging out there, putting people kids into the gang life. So I'm wrecking my reputation out there, wrecking relationships with people out there. People looking at me, in a negative light, like I'm just coming out here to, you know, spread negativity. Um, So you gotta watch what you're doing. I'm just trying to paint this picture, and like I said, I'm just using me an example to let y'all know I'm not bragging about anything. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret anything that I've done in life because actually I'm in a really good space in life. But I could be in a way better space in life. I gotta work a little bit harder because of decisions that I made when I was younger. When I thought things was cool. When I thought um, I got all my life. I'm young. I got all my life to figure it out. You know what I mean? But you got to figure it out. You do. You can make little bumps in the road. But my problem was I knew better. I just wanted to go on the wild side. Yeah, don't forget the name of this motherfucking channel. It's story time and life lessons we choose. So story time. So I'm out there in London. I said I'm gang banging and shit on Island, you know? And I do some stupid shit. And like I said, I'm gonna go into details about certain things, not because I'm trying to glorify anything. Things that I did, I do not want anybody to do. I want y'all to go to school. I want y'all to learn a trade or something. I want y'all to learn about business. I want y'all to learn about stocks. I want y'all to learn about credit. You get what I'm saying? I want y'all to learn about real estate. So I want y'all to learn about land. I want y'all to learn about other countries, other people, learn other languages. That's what I want y'all to do. You get what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all things not to do. So anyway, always of robbing somebody, beating the girl up, robbing her. I wound up getting caught. Y'all want to know how I got caught? I had bright ass. This shit looked like an Easter outfit. Do y'all hear me? Bright as hell, light as hell. I think it was light blue and orange or some shit. And this was academics. That's why academics was popping. So I was young. Y'all was like 15. You know what I'm saying? So I ran, got away from her and shit. But she done described me and the cops got up on me, booped me and shit later on. You feel me? Maybe like an hour or something, an hour and a half later. Get what I'm saying? So anyway, I get booked for that boom. So I'm locked up. At first they put me in the youth house, in Union County youth house. I'm over there, bump that boom. Then I go to I get into too many details. Then they put me in a program or whatever. This is a Valentine program. It was two programs in it, Valentine's and Doves. Valentine was just for a residential behavior program. Doves, we're young. Doves was for a drug program. Get what I'm saying? Then, right next to that, that's called Hayes. Now, this is down. I was from Jersey. Get what I'm saying? From New Jersey. This is down by Boynton's Hat. You get what I'm saying? Now, Hayes is right next to us, so they call it Valentine. Get what I'm saying? So, I'm in there. This shit is like boot camp slash home. I don't know. You got to get up all early. But I ain't gonna lie. Afterwards, looking back, even like when I was young, you know what I'm saying? I like it because it put a lot of structure in my life. But anyway, you had to get up all early. You had chores like 3 times a day. You get what I'm saying? So you on a tight schedule. And then you have to go to school. You get what I'm saying? Because out there, I told you I was wild and I wasn't going to school or nothing. You have to go to school and shit. I'm very, very smart. So in there, I'm in school. Um, so I wanted to like get my GED. I wanted to like me whenever I'm in jail. I ain't gonna lie. Whenever I'm in bad situations, I try to see the opportunity I could get out of it. So and that's what I suggest y'all to get what I'm saying. I gotta pause this thing for something more loud as hell. Well, yeah, whenever you in a bad situation, whatever. You know, I do like giving examples just to let you know, like, you know what I'm saying? If you're in prison and they offering school, and it's usually free if they offering any type of certificates, any classes, I don't care what it is that you can learn from. Shoot, poetry classes, shoot, writing classes. You get what I'm saying? They be having college classes, whatever. Take advantage of it. Sign up for it. I don't give a damn. Get what I'm saying? Be curious in life. You get what I'm saying? Like whatever it is, um, sign up for it. Even I don't care. Even if you're in a good situation, you ain't gotta be in a bad situation. But I always try to find opportunity and stuff. So anyway, GED. I was trying to get my GED. I turned 16 in there. I was trying to get my GED. I wanted to make my mother proud. I wanted to be on my ass. About school and stuff like that. So I wanted to make my mom proud. Also, I'm in Valentine. My mom had my little sister, so that's another reason why I wanted to, you know, be the best person I was trying to that I could be. I wanted to be a good role model for my little sister. Um, so when I got there, I remember before I left there, I took my pre-GED. I passed it with flying colors, but I was leaving before I could take my GED. When I went home, I told my mom the situation. I think it even helped me like contact, Union County College, so I could, get my GED. I didn't want to take any classes or whatever because I was sure I would pass it. They say that the pre-GED test. This is just a little food for thought. They say that the pre-GED test is harder than the actual GED test. So if you could pass the pre-GED test, you could pass the GED test. Oh yeah, went home, passed the GED test or whatever, get my GED. I was happy. I was 16 when I got my GED, so that was an accomplishment. I think I started trying to like work, get jobs and stuff, um, because I wanted to make my mom proud of whatever. And I wanted to kind of be on the right track. So I think I worked at McDonald's for a couple months. I worked at King University in the den. It's like their little cafeteria for a couple of months or whatever. But ultimately, I kind of went back to the streets, um, hustling, gang banging, stuff like that. Maybe boosting a little bit on the side. That's another thing. Not trying to throw my moms under the bus or whatever, but I picked up a lot of bad habits from my mom. Even this is how to be truthful. And like I said, not to 'cause my mom's done it the best. But like I told y'all in the beginning, my mom's the door had got kicked in. My mom's went to the feds. So I wasn't like actively in my brain, you know, saying, "Oh, I want to go to jail," but I never really looked at jail as such a bad place. My mother been getting locked up, little scared bids, in the county, stuff like that since I was a kid. So jail was not really a scary place. The cops were scary to me. I hated the cops when I was young. So what I'm saying is, watch what you do. Especially if you have children. But even if you have younger siblings, you have anybody that look up to you. You know what I mean? A person in the neighborhood that is attached to you. Watch what you do, because I'm telling you, a person that look up to you, if you're their role model, come on, my mother, I look just like my mom. That is my everything. That still is my role model. I look up to my mom. My mom is a very strong, beautiful, sweet, person. She a hustler. She get to it. I've got a lot of drive and resilience, and that hustle, fight, warrior um, characteristics from my mom. But my mom, she wasn't perfect. I mean, nobody is. My mother, we had me, like I said, at a very young age. So my mother was doing the very best that she knew how to. But you just have to watch what you do, you know. So, yes, 18 years old, I get locked up for armed robbery, y'all. The criminal shit is, is escalating. Before that armed robbery, I told y'all I had quit my job or whatever, so I was in the streets. I told y'all I was gang banging. Um, and what happened? Oh, selling drugs and shit. A crackhead. Shit, what Biggie said, room number one or whatever room that shit was. Um, don't fucking ever give no fiend no credit. Think they gonna give you back that money? Forget it. Yeah, I fucked up. They gave a fiend that I used to serve for a minute some money. She wound up trying to stick me. You feel me? She had some big buff nigga with her when I tried to come and get my money. You feel me? I ain't stupid. You feel me? So I waited, went back and broke in her apartment and went crazy in her apartment. The bitch ain't had the money in there, you know what I'm saying? She probably had it all on it, but I went crazy in her apartment. And I got locked up for that shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was doing stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? So now I'm creating a fucking paper trail, creating a track, what's the rap sheet, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't cool, that shit ain't good, you know what I'm saying? Um, and I could be creating credentials, you know what I'm saying? I could have been going to college. I think I took a little college course in psychology or some shit like that. But whatever, I could have really been, locking in on something positive instead of locking in on the negative. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, so for the armed robbery, I get sentenced to a 7 with an 85. At 7 years, you got to do 85% of your time. And usually that's for like a violent charge. So in Jersey, you always get automatic probation or parole. Since I was in the state, I got parole. So I got 5 years parole. Out of the 5 years parole, I wound up violating twice, doing like a year and a half, 2 years, both times. Um, and after the violations, um, I wound up getting a fed charge. It was originally just a state charge. You know what I'm saying? I was from state New York, and I got caught with a lot of drugs and a gun. Um, but then I was in the county out here in New York. Um, and one day they said I had court. I didn't have court. I was wound up going to the Fed court. They was telling me that they opened the case up against me. They was trying to give me 15 years for like trigger lock. This is like my third time getting caught with a gun. Um, but I told y'all that's why knowledge is power. I'm a little smart. I got into these books. This is a book called, I think, something about law, some shit. But I started studying up on stuff, whatever, and I got myself 40 months or whatever. Um, while I was down there, first of all, when I was in the county, they was offering us gardening. They was offering college courses and stuff like that. I did a couple of college courses. I had to figure out what the credits is too, actually. And I did a gardening course. It's very amazing. I learned how to, do everything, prune, how to, you know, plant the seeds, how to prune the plants, how to everything. Definitely eat it all and all that other stuff. How to make pickles, how to cucumbers, just a lot of things. How to make pesto, you know. So that was a good experience. And I went to the feds. In West Virginia, yeah, they send you everywhere. That's another thing. You scared of heights, scared of flights. First of all, from New York, from Valhalla, we got sent to Oklahoma on a plane that we was going to from New York to Oklahoma. It was duct tape on it. I had no choice but to get on it. Either I got on it or I went to lock or some shit like that. You know what I mean? So I had to get on it. Um, then from Oklahoma, I had to go to West Virginia. I had to get on another plane. Those wasn't my first time on a plane and stuff, but I'm just saying, if you ask a lot of people who got them type of fears, it's the positions you put yourself in. Anyway, so after West Virginia, I come home or whatever. I'm in a halfway house. I don't want to be a drug dealer no more. Um, I've been stopped really gang banging like that. Every time I've been to prison. I told you like 4 times. I never got any love from no homies. Never got really no mail. Um, Probably once or twice ever. I got to reach out to any of my homies. Um, and every time I'm home, and when they see me, because I kind of like separate myself from them, they be on my dick. It was times when I was in Clinton, homegirls who knew I was there for years, come begging, asking me for shit. Go home, forget about me. Don't look back. Oh, let me make sure Drew's good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wasn't really gang banging no more. I'm not gang banging right now. I am what I am. I'm never gonna, but I'm not no gang banger. I'm not into that at all. And if whatever you is, and I don't care. I want to make money. I want to succeed. I want to build with people. I want to be an asset to my community. So, with that in mind, coming home, I'm trying to get me a good job. I'm trying to turn over a leaf. I'm trying to, be a good member of society. But throughout the years I was working and shit, but it wasn't consistent, and I got all these holes, I got all these gaps in my resume, and this is like now, was recent. It's been hard to get jobs. Um, I've been getting like little internships. Thank God for Fortune Society. Um, if you are coming home from anywhere, I don't care where you at, any state that you are, try to research the best reentry program in your area and go there. They definitely be helping you out. But I had internships through the reentry program, and I got a job through the reentry program. You know what I'm saying? But it's been hard because of the gaps in my resume and skills that I lack. I got a lot of skills, but I got a lot of skills that I don't have because I haven't been in the workforce consistently. You know what I'm saying? I had to learn a lot of things about professionalism. I had to learn a lot of things about technology, a lot of things about social media. I had to rebuild relationships with my mom, with my little sister, trying to rebuild with my father, with my with my sister, with my family. I don't get invited to a lot of family events, and I don't think they're doing things maliciously. I think it's because they're so used to me not being around that They don't think about me. They don't think to, um, even friends, a lot of connections that I had, that I yearn to have back. It's hard to kind of gain that connection back because how many years have passed. Um, it's not a sob story. I'm just letting y'all know what's going on because I'm good. And I'm trying to get another um, friend group, a friend group who has the same mindset as me, you know. But I'm saying all that to say that your actions, I thought that was cool. The gang bang, back when I was coming up, it was Lil Wayne, it was Jim Jones and them, Dipset and them, it was, Snoop Dogg. Gang banging was it. Dreadlocks, that was it. Selling drugs, that was it. So who the fuck could tell you what? You was lit. You know what I mean? I had a whole bunch of females. I was lit. I had money. I could do what I wanted to do. Um, you know what I'm saying? I was lit. But now, when I want to settle down and be grown in my self-girl era, be responsible, the things that I did as a kid, they're kind of catching up with me because I didn't take little jobs and be consistent, try to work my way up in companies, um, build a reputation for myself. Um, it's kind of hard to get jobs. Don't get me wrong. I can hustle, and I want to let y'all know that too. It's not selling drugs is not the only way that you can make money. That's not the only hustle there is. Selling drugs is very, very problematic. It's very dangerous. Not just because of competition. People get jealous over blocks, but it's the cops that's taking time. That's all that's your relationships. That's your growth. That's your motion. When you're in prison, you just in prison. You are a slave to the system. You don't want to be that. You want to be outside. You don't have to be working for somebody. If got a business, you want to be outside, networking, getting the business together. So it's other ways to hustle. Get you some candy, get you some shoes, get you some hair, get you some waters, get you some socks, get you something. But you don't gotta be out there risking your life, risking your freedom. And and for the relationship aspect, I don't have many friends now. Don't get it fucked up. I got homies. If something was to ever go down, I got some people that's gonna call. I could call, you know what I'm saying? There's gonna be some dreadheads in the lobby. You feel me? But friends, because of how much time I have spent in prison and in a lot of people's lives, I haven't had a chance to build real strong friendships. And that's another thing about when you're young. Make sure that the people that you surround yourself with truly have the same interests that you have deep down inside. Not that this persona that you're trying to share with the world. I'm talking about when you're in the house by yourself and the things that you think about, the things that you want to do. Connect with people who like to do those same things and try to keep those connections because when you get older, those connections, they matter. When you want to go out and chill and travel, and you need a companion, you got a buddy that you know that you could trust, not somebody you just met, a couple of days ago, somebody that you could trust, that you can hang out with. You know what I'm saying? So, and in school, in college, at museums and stuff like that, that's where you find a lot of friends as well. So that's just a little food for thought. But that's as far as the relationship situation. Now, mentally, mentally, just have to think about what gang banging does to somebody mentally. I have PTSD. I have anxiety. I be paranoid. I be jumpy. I'm thinking somebody, you feel me? Ain't nobody even think about me. I'm looking behind my back and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, the decisions that I made as a child, when I was 15, 16, as an adolescent, they are coming back on me. Now I have to seek therapy, seek counseling. I ain't no punk, I ain't no bitch, but I have to do that because I care about myself and I don't want to be spilling my trauma out on everybody else. I chose the gangbang. And nobody tell me put no gun in my head. Nobody, not even the big homies. Nobody chose to ask me to do that. I did that. So it's my responsibility to take care of my mental health. Prison. That's a very traumatic place. I'm saying it ain't cool. Bad stuff be happening. They be beating up on people, and the officers be beating up on people. People die in prison. You know what I'm saying? You can't help them. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't treat you right in prison. You know what I'm saying? It ain't just um, about like I said, inmates and the violence that you have to fear. It's my dog right here, y'all. That's why I'm doing all this moving around. She all on me. But yeah, you don't always gotta worry about the violence that you might have to encounter from, your fellow inmates. There's more violence done to inmates by the COs, you know what I'm saying? And it be pushed under the rugs. And then when it comes to your health and stuff, they don't give a damn about your health. See a doctor. What? When? You know what I'm saying? So that's a very traumatic experience. So now I'm seeking therapy and stuff. And if you notice that you're suffering from from trauma in your past life, don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid to go and seek therapy. It really can help you. Like I said, health is wealth. That's a part of your health. And as well, I'm in prison. Everybody know. Usually, dudes come home all buff and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Females come home fat. So I came home fat. My first checkup home, I was pre-diabetic. Diabetes run in my family. So, in diabetes, people die from diabetes. Irv Gotti, a legend in hip hop, very young, in his 50s, died from complications from diabetes. Your legs get cut off and stuff. Like your health, you have to pay attention to this stuff. So, you know, I was like 200 and something pounds. Um, I was broke. I ain't had no money for no membership. So I be working out in my building. I be working out in the park. I be working out in my apartment. Use the steps. Like I said, walk. Um, do push-ups. Do jumping jacks. Do squats. Do this all stuff you could do. You don't need no gym membership. Do lodges. I'm gonna do a video for that. It might not be in this series, but I'm gonna do a video with all type of exercises that you can do around your health that help you lose weight. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, please, 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 do not think that just because you're young, that you got all the time in the world. Don't don't be chasing the fads. Don't be thinking it's cool to cut school. Just don't be chasing the fad. What your favorite rapper is doing is probably not what's up. You know what I'm saying? And they probably not as rich as you think they are. You know what I mean? And that's gonna be another video too. But just think about your future. You're not gonna be young forever. Thinking about not only how your actions are affecting you, but how they're affecting your mom, your little sister, your dad, your little girlfriend. You get locked up, what I mean? Your little girlfriend ain't gonna sit there and wait for you for forever. She gonna be on to the next little nigga or the next little dyke or whatever. He gonna be on to the next chick, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So think about your future. Think about what you really want to do in life. It don't have to be orthodox, straightforward career. I'm putting you down, bro. It don't have to be a straight orthodox career, but think about what you want to do and start taking the steps right now to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe. I'm trying to get this together. Um, Comment where you from. Um, what fads that you went to that you think is cool. What type of music you listening to. Who your favorite rapper is. Um, you think it's cool. Why you think it's cool. Um, what you aspire to be. It could be a rapper. It could be an actress. It could be, a lawyer. It could be whatever. And what goals that you are taking to accomplish that. Please. Give me lit. Give me some subscribers. Come on, man. My dog got more subscribers than me. Don't do me like that. I need like 50. Real quick. Get me lit. I told y'all, I'm about to get better at this. Just get me lit. Help me out. Come on. Alright. See y'all in the next one.